Hello. Takes it a second here.
We're going live on Instagram. Give us just a minute.
It won't take that long. There it is. All right, here we are.
Guess what? February the 27th.
February 27th.
4 o'clock Central Time here in Alabama.
That's right.
Where are you guys located?
I saw somebody in Minnesota said it was snowing. It's 77 here today.
It's not snowing.
It's not snowing.
But guess what?
What's that?
It could snow in the days to come.
It's just going to drop down into the 50s tomorrow.
That's snow weather.
You're going to have to pull the jackets back out.
Pull them snow chains out. Actually, the lowest is going to be in the 7-day forecast is 34.
The low.
Yeah. And that was just one night.
Yeah.
So we're good.
We're good.
Got Dee Dee, sidekick Dee Dee over here beside me.
Decided to clean her feet.
It's cleanup time.
What she got going on over there? Goodness gracious. Whew. Well, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're trying not to get blown away over here. It is windy here today.
It is windy, and we were prepared for it.
It is we're actually under a wind warning, I think.
Well, I know one thing. There are a lot of wildfires all over the state of Alabama.
It's not, we don't have wildfires here.
No.
We don't.
And we've had quite a bit of rain, so that kind of strikes me as...
We've had quite a bit of rain, but it's been a few weeks, though.
Yeah, I guess, it doesn't take much for the grass to get back dry. Yeah. What's underground doesn't
especially
really
with
matter.
This wind, it don't...
It does. Well, and you told me I've been gone. I've been on vacation. And he's been here taking care of things.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a minute. But while I was on my vacation, you said it was really windy here then.
It was.
So I guess it was probably like that across the state. And maybe that's what got the wildfires going. None near us, but we don't want them near anybody.
No.
Ever. No state.
Mm-mm.
No country.
It was terrible. Terrible. Where'd you go on vacation?
I went down to sunny Florida.
Mm.
And I don't mean sunny a city. I mean sunny because it was sunshine.
It was a sunshine?
Yeah.
Was it warmer? Could you tell the difference? Can tell the difference?
Mary Carl and I spent a few days in St. Augustine, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all didn't see the video, we didn't go for just a vacation.
No. We
went to Stark, Florida, where y'all see my shirt. Go give them a follow if you don't.
Misty Dawn
Farm.
Yep.
It's located in Stark, Florida. And St. Augustine's just about an hour southwest of, southeast of Misty Dawn. So it was some good birding, I mean, you got to go where the birding is.
We go where the birds are.
But we have planned this trip for several months now, I should say.
Yes.
Our new addition, Miss Honey, has just turned 6.5 months. And we've known for about 4 months now.
I think so.
That we were going to get Honey. And Amy over there at Misty Dawn, she takes incredible care of all of her animals.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted Honey to stay with her mom until she was 6 months old. Which I totally agree.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to pull an animal from a mama if you don't have to.
That's right.
So part of it has been me not feeling well as to why we haven't gone in the past couple of weeks.
Right.
So that's how she got to 6.5 months. We were planning on picking her up at the 1st of February, but it didn't happen that way. And Amy was so kind to say, hey, we're here when you get to feeling better and feel like making the trip. And that's what happened. It went well. Mary Carl and I headed out Thursday morning and got down the road, and she realized she forgot her camera. So the trip kind of started on a bad leg.
Yeah.
And it was 7.5 hours to St. Augustine from our house.
Yes.
So, you never get out of your driveway at the time that you plan to leave.
It almost, I mean,
It's just impossible.
it is, it really is. And I kind of did the same thing Saturday myself.
It happens.
I had the pedals from the class rose, antique
Pedals
rose,
from the class rose.
pedals from the past antique rose class, and I was early.
You know what it was?
I was early, and I was like, boom, I'm gonna get there early. I'm gonna get there 10, 15 minutes early instead of right on time.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot my wallet.
You know what it was?
I had to turn around and come back and get my wallet. And then I was like I normally am.
Had I not been on vacation,
Yeah.
and had I been here,
Yeah.
To
remind me to get my wallet.
Remind you to get your wallet. Jason, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have your sunglasses?
Oh goodness.
Then you wouldn't have been late.
I remembered everything
except your wallet.
Except my wallet. I had my book, my pen. I took some honey. But I didn't. I just forgot my wallet.
How about that?
Ain't that something?
Well, Mary Carl and I came back, got the camera, got on the road.
Yeah.
And we didn't get out of our county before there was a train stopped on the tracks. And there was probably 10 cars in front of me, that were stopped as well. And all of a sudden, they started turning around. Well, that told me they'd probably been there a minute. Here I am pulling this trailer, which, fine, I can back up, turn around, do all that.
Right.
Except for there was nowhere to turn around. There's 2 lanes of traffic. But I figured it out. I got myself in enough position to where I turned around, and that added another 30 minutes to our delay. I had to go back because I was getting on the interstate, so I had to go an alternate route. But we didn't let that get in our way. We just we kept on trucking, kept on grinning.
Yeah.
But I must say, it was pitch black dark when I arrived in St. Augustine.
And you don't like driving in the dark.
I don't like driving. When the sun starts going down, I'm going to park that car. I don't like it. Especially not somewhere. I mean, I'll go around here at night.
Right.
But driving somewhere that I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
No.
There was one thing that I didn't talk about in the video.
Okay.
And that is that Misty Dawn Farm got a pair of the peacocks.
Yes.
They're not pea chicks anymore, I guess. They're pretty mature. So they 2, a male and a female.
That's right.
Went to go live at their farm.
That's right.
And couldn't be happier for that too.
Yes.
That worked out perfectly.
I thought about it a couple of months ago and reached out to her and said, hey, y'all don't have peacocks. Would you like to have a couple for an addition? And she said, absolutely. And her husband did not know why she would want peacocks. But that's just how men are. Not knocking Brian by all means, because mine would have said the same thing.
Oh, goodness.
So they made it safe and sound, and we dropped that pair off on the way. So we stopped at her farm, unloaded the peacocks.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I mean.
Right.
Male and a female.
Right.
And she had an enclosure fixed up for them where they will stay for the next few weeks or a month. And if y'all haven't seen her video, she actually made a video about them.
It shows the peacocks?
Yeah. Shows, that they don't have names yet, but she's trying to come up with a name. And her children are all excited because they realize that having a male and a female probably means at one point or another they're going to have
Eventually they will have
chicks.
some babies.
Babies.
Oh, me. Well, no.
There's Amy. Hey, y'all.
There's Amy, Chestnut Hill, and I saw people saying hello to Head Family, so Head Family must be on there too.
Well, how about that?
It's a big group on here. It's going fast. Gosh, my throat. Oh, so we did get a new animal. We did. Miss Honey.
Yes.
And
I thought you were going to tell me something I didn't know.
No. And she is precious. She is so precious. And I don't know, she was very, very sweet, really sweet. And I don't know why I thought she wouldn't be sweet, but I didn't know she was going to be that sweet.
She's Jessie sweet. And Jason and I were talking about it. I don't know if we talked about it on camera or off camera, saying that all donkeys are sweet.
Yeah, they seem to be. Well, I said that. I said all donkeys seem to be sweet, and I said, well, maybe that's probably not the case, but they do seem so. Even the ones across the street that have no interaction with humans for the most part,
That's right. I mean, they're friendly. They come up to me.
come
They
right up to us.
desire to be around humans.
Yeah,
Now the baby is not as friendly as the other two.
I got you.
But I don't know. I just I'm kind of like you. I kind of wonder, did we just get the best of the bunch, or are they all sweet?
I don't know. They are. Our two are extremely sweet.
Now, Honey is a bit more vocal than Jessie.
She is.
Amy did tell me when I went and picked her up, she said, now I've noticed that Jessie's not that vocal, but Honey, however, has a mouth on her. And that's fine with us because I kind of like the way it sounds.
It doesn't bother me, and usually sounds kind of do, but that doesn't bother me.
And things are going well. Honey's settling right in, so
she is really settling in. She's going to be beautiful in that winter coat. I can't wait to see her when she sheds that.
Yeah, because you really can't tell, what she's going to look like until that. And it doesn't matter to us what she looks like. She's sweet as she can be, and we're happy to offer her a wonderful home. But I do think she's going to look different once she sheds that coat.
I think so too.
And I don't know why, but I have never thought about having donkeys. And, Arm's family reached out to us and asked us if we could offer Jessie a home. And of course we were like, okay, but we've never had donkeys. We've had horses, which is the next, next
Very
of kin.
Similar.
But we never had them, and I don't know why. We had a little miniature horse for Mary Carl when she was about 2 years old, 2, 3, because she was just infatuated with horses. And we ended up getting a friend for Tucker because we felt, they're herd animals. We had goats, but still.
Right.
Tucker was the name of the pony. He was in the pasture by himself. And so we wanted to get him a friend, and we never considered a donkey for a friend.
I know it. I don't know why we didn't. That would have been perfect.
It would have been perfect. If I had to do it over again in reverse, I would have had Tucker a donkey friend.
I think they would have got along better too.
Well, it just so happened that, the friends that we added for Tucker, he acted like he would have been happier alone.
Yeah.
And, by that time, there wasn't a lot we could, they didn't fight. He just started to become a different horse.
He did. But I wanted to, Chestnut Hills, is their donkey friendly?
Yeah.
He's friendly too?
Yeah.
Friendly.
Jack is friendly. He's in your pocket donkey. But
he's big though.
Yeah, he's big.
He's big.
He's big.
I wonder when Nick's gonna ride him.
Probably tomorrow. It's gonna rain, so probably tomorrow. But if I could go back in time, that's what I would have done. I would have gotten a donkey, a smaller donkey.
Right.
Maybe Honey size. Jessie, I think, is a little smaller than your average. Because Leroy, that's at Sneed's farmhouse.
Sweet.
He's sweet, but he's bigger than Jessie.
Yeah.
And he's a miniature.
I think Jessie's a miniature. Jesse's tiny, but I'm sure it had a lot to do with
her health condition
or the health condition when she was born, because Jessie almost didn't make it twice, and so she had a rough go there.
And Arm's family knew that she could never be bred for those health reasons, and we didn't have another donkey. So when we started thinking about maybe getting a companion for Jessie, the first thing I did was reached out to DJ. And I said, how do you think Jessie would do with another donkey?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, female, that is, because I wanted DJ to know that we weren't thinking of putting her health at risk.
Or a fixed male, I guess.
I wouldn't have even considered that because I wouldn't have wanted, Anyway, but Jessie, Jesse thought it was a good idea. DJ thought that that would be fine and that Jesse would approve of having a friend. So, after she said that, I reached out to Misty Dawn and things just went from there.
Well, I'm glad it worked out.
I'm glad it worked out too.
Honey,
I think they're going to end up being buddies.
I think so too. And Honey seems really happy, and Mildred loves her, and so yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
I think so too.
Gonna be good.
Y'all just have to keep on following us to see if they can get along or.
Somebody said all Lester's donkeys are friendly.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen a mean donkey.
Well,
there's got to be one out there. I know there's probably got, but I've never seen a mean donkey.
I'm not calling Nellie mean.
She's a mule.
Well, she's half donkey. She's half donkey. Catherine at G&G and myself went and rescued a mule here recently. And we had an opportunity to get her.
Right.
But at that time, we knew that Honey was coming to live here.
Right.
And it's not that we didn't want to take time with Nellie. It's that Catherine was willing to work with her. And Catherine had the time. And Catherine had the training.
Yes.
So it worked out. But Nellie is not like Jessie or Honey. She's not going to come sit in your lap. And
no.
I think Honey and Jessie could ride to the Sonic.
Yes.
You know how Lester's goats go to the Sonic?
Yeah.
I think Honey and Jessie could get in the back seat of the car or the bus when it gets going.
Mm-hmm.
The Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
We could take them to Sonic.
I have to get them a big diaper. I have to get a big diaper.
They're not going to ride in the back of the truck, so they're going to have a diaper of some sort.
I have to get them a big diaper.
We'll figure something out. That'll be interesting.
We have to start rotating out because you know who would love to go to the Sonic?
Mildred.
Tip.
I'm thinking Mildred.
Tip loves to ride.
He does. Tip rides well.
So much so you got to be careful around him.
Yes.
Because he could, I don't know. I'm glad that we're stalling them up when we bring the hay in there because Tip you got to be so careful. He's trying to get on the tractor.
Yes.
He tries to get on the bucket. He just.
Oh, he gets on the side by side, and he's always done
it.
He's always done it ever since he was a little one.
So maybe we need to take him to the Sonic one time.
Maybe.
Reckon what the Sonic would say here.
I don't know. I wonder what Tip would want from the Sonic. I mean, what would he order?
Probably vanilla ice cream.
I don't know.
I think that's what he'd want.
Well, Honey is a bit picky. She told from Amy and Misty Dawn that she likes sourdough bread because that's something that they make at their homestead quite often. And she likes garlic bread. But other than that, she's not a real treat eater. But she said also that she has seen Loretta eat some things here that she would turn her nose up at her farm.
Well, I will say this. When we got Jessie did not care for the horse feed at first. I mean, she just kind of looked at it and looked at us. Now she loves it.
Yes. And I fed Honey a little bit of grain out of my hand to begin with to try to get her interested in it because Amy said the same thing. She eats more hay and grass than she does her
grain. Which is fine.
You don't want to overfeed them for sure, but I would like to offer it to her. She will eat it, and she has ate it the times we have offered it to her. She's not eaten as much as Jessie yet, but obviously, she's a good bit younger than Jessie, so it'll take some time.
And gosh, my mind went blank. Oh, the feeding time and the evening time. I'm gonna make a short of that because it's about to get real different.
Yeah, it's
adding one more thing to the equation. It's about to get real different.
It is.
Yep.
The first night that Honey was here, Jason was editing because that video was literally like I pulled up at what time? 4:00.
Mm-hmm.
And we finished it up and it got dark and it was time to go to bed. Well, you were editing and
I got done about 11 p.m. that night with that one.
Somebody said, why'd you drag it out so long? Well, it wasn't that we drug it out. It was Honey wasn't here yet.
Honey wasn't here yet. Yeah.
Honey wasn't here
Honey
yet.
wasn't here yet.
So we couldn't speed that part up. But
yeah.
What I was going to say is you were editing, so I went down and put the animals up.
Right.
And of course, Mildred and Honey are on a different side. So I fed Mildred in that stall, and I went and offered Honey a little bit of grain, just a handful. And all of a sudden, I mean, she's eating good, but all of a sudden something caught her attention, and she takes off running across the pasture. And I started to wonder, is she a better, not knocking Jessie, don't let your ears burn, but is she a better guard donkey than Jessie is? Because I've never seen Jessie, like, when Jessie's eating, she's interested in eating. She's not going to go and take off and try to get something out of the pasture.
Well, Jessie's spoiled. I mean, Honey may be spoiled.
Yeah, but she's so young that she hadn't had a chance to. But Honey, Honey came from a big cattle farm and was in with cows.
Yeah.
And, she may have seen some of the other donkeys there just
maybe
ward off predators or
maybe
something.
So.
But it caught me by surprise to see the little girl take off.
Oh, it was funny that the person said, why didn't you just get to the point and show Honey? And I thought, well, do you watch a movie backwards? do you when you watch a movie, did you start at the end? Or a TV show?
That's right.
If you're watching one of those true crime stories and they're talking about it all, and you don't start at the end and work your way to the front.
Yeah, we could have been like, well, here's Jessie. She just got here from Florida, and
Honey.
Honey. Gosh.
Oh goodness.
One day I'm gonna get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't go backwards. So, and there was no way to speed things up.
It was funny.
I literally did the best I could get home, and we left early that morning.
Y'all did leave early.
We left.
I was shocked early. Y'all left, honest.
I set my clock. My vacation was over. I set my clock.
I tell you, me and Holly had us a vacation.
You did.
I did.
But Catherine, G&G.
Yeah.
Her husband was away.
Yeah.
Last night, and she was telling me how much she got done while he was away.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, actually, Jason works the same way because he got a whole lot done while we were gone. I said, as a matter of fact, I'm leaving out Thursday.
I did get a lot done. a lot of picking up stuff, a lot of cleaning up stuff, and moving stuff
that
around.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, I got all the equipment attachments put behind the house instead of in the front of the property. It's behind the property.
We had planned to do that, but we also knew it was going to take some time. So I appreciate
it. Took me, you know how long it took me to move all that stuff?
All day, I'm sure.
2 hours.
Oh, that ain't bad.
But you don't see, it's just the attachments. You think it's backing up the tractor.
Yeah, Jason, that was a lot of stuff though.
It may take me over 2 hours, but I know it was at least 2 hours.
Well, if you did 2 hours, you didn't look up.
I didn't. And it took me probably another hour or so to get finished spreading old hay out. I got it done.
He was sending me pictures of what he had accomplished, and I was like, I'm thinking to myself while I'm driving down the beach, grinning,
That's
and I'm
right.
like, oh.
Moved the earthworms, earthworm bin.
Yes.
I got it. I want to put it back here in the back by the greenhouse.
Right.
Got it moved. But, it looks a lot better up there.
It does. It looks a whole lot better.
T-posts that were laying around everywhere, I got all those up. I cleaned up the pastures that had Loretta and Gus were originally, and got all those T-posts out.
And he cleaned up the house too.
I did clean up the house.
He cleaned up the house. And that's why I'm headed out Thursday, because it'll be dirtied up again by then. And,
Oh, man. But me and Holly had fun. We went to town. And we got to go to the feed store. And let me tell y'all. So I got a couple of emails and messages from people saying that they had coonies and they thought Gus and Loretta would love hay. And I see them out there. I can see one now. That's Gus right now grazing. And I was like, I'm going to get them some hay. I got 2 or 3 messages that they would like hay. I'm going to get them some hay. And so I knew that our feed store had really high quality square bales of hay.
Which is what you would want to
Yeah.
feed them.
Right,
You're
right.
not going to put a round bale in there for
That's right.
two pigs.
So me and Holly loaded up, and we went to town. And I forget what all we did in town, but that wasn't our only stop. But we went there. I got some hay, and I needed some pig feed too for them, and something else. I forget what it. Oh, I needed some scratch for the chickens, and so I got on the hay. I was all excited. I was like, you know what? This is gonna make a cute reel. I'm gonna make a reel, and so I videoed it because my mind was I've had 3, maybe more than that. I don't know, but several
I've
people.
read comments before that say, they need hay.
They need some hay. And I was like, well, this is going to be perfect because I'm going to go get the hay. I'm going to go, get it in there. They're going to eat the hay, and it was going to be a cute little reel. So did all that, filmed it all, put it in there. Y'all, they ain't touched that hay.
They made a bed out of it, though, didn't they?
Look, yesterday, at some point, I went over there, and Loretta is laying in it, snoring.
Gus was laying in it a few minutes ago when I came home.
I was like, goodness gracious. So ours don't like hay. Now, I got a feeling they would probably like alfalfa hay.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of have to be kind of careful with alfalfa hay. And we don't have alfalfa hay here.
No, the only way we could get it is at a big box store where it's already, prepackaged or whatever. So you had asked me to ask Amy at Misty Dawn if her coonies or if Gus and Loretta had ever liked hay or ate hay. And I did just that. And she said, well, they'll eat it a little bit, but it's got to be really high quality hay. But they don't love it. Okay. So I kind of expected that result. Not that the hay wasn't quality, just that they are satisfied. They are satisfied.
They are satisfied. They are satisfied. I just knew they were going to eat it. I mean, everybody was I just 100% knew they were going to. So I didn't make the reel. I mean, it was so anticlimactic, So it was like, I done all this videoing, and then it was like, they don't like the hay. So I ended up not making it.
Hey, it may be that coonies that are not fed grain. On the other hand,
Grandpa Dolph says that his coonies will not eat hay, and all they do is lay on it too.
Huh? It just may depend on if they get grain or not. I guess if they didn't get grain and they were hungry,
maybe that's what it is. Maybe they get enough out of the grain we feed them. I know what it is.
What?
It's the Flintstone vitamin.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, that's what it is.
The hay doesn't have the Flintstone.
And let me tell y'all how animals are so different. You especially farm animals. I think people just sometimes get in their mind that they're, pig's a pig.
Right.
Every morning, I was getting worried that one of them was getting 2 vitamins sometimes.
Okay.
So I decided to give them the vitamin. So the first time I did it, it went perfectly. Since then, Loretta, she comes up and she gets on the fence. Right. I wish she wouldn't do it, but I don't know how you're going to stop it. So Loretta gets up on the fence and she's like this. And she so I give Loretta her vitamin.
She spit it out.
No.
Oh.
She eats it every time. She gets on the fence, she waits on it like this. And I give Loretta her Flintstone vitamin. Gus, he will not eat it, y'all. He turns his head. He will not eat it. So I have to hide it in his food.
Really?
Yeah, Gus will not eat that Flintstone vitamin. Period. And I've tried, there's a couple of colors in there. I thought maybe he don't like the red ones. Maybe it's the purple ones he likes. No, he will not eat the vitamin.
Well, I don't think it would hurt anything if one of them got 2 because
it wouldn't.
I think
it's a children's vitamin.
Once you reach 12, I think you're supposed to have 2 anyway, right. And they're probably
I'll give Loretta hers, and Gus, he gets his food, and they don't swap. They kind of stay to their own thing. So Loretta enjoys it now, so it's kind of a thing. So now I
likes her
every time Loretta gets her little right there.
And Peaches eats hers like no problem.
Yeah,
she always has.
Always has.
We used to give Peaches well, and Loretta and Gus when they first got here, gummy children's vitamins.
We did.
But what happened is it gets so hot and
It turns into one giant vitamin.
and there was no way we could pull off that gummy to know how much we were giving them. So we now give the hard vitamins rather than the gummy vitamins. Maybe Gus prefers the gummies. Maybe we have to put them in the refrigerator and give him his special.
Maybe so.
I don't know. Yeah, animals are weird.
They're all different.
I read
They're
a comment
different.
on well, what's today? Tuesday, on yesterday's video
Mm-hmm.
that said, I'm a new follower. Why is that potbelly pig alone?
Oh.
What's wrong with her? And I very tactfully went through the spiel about her having friends in the past and her not liking her friends, and that's why she lives alone. A lady commented to her, because Peaches is the boss lady. And I thought, I bet when she read that back, I bet she thought, huh?
These people are crazy.
These people are crazy.
She does like, I think she likes the company of the goats.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well,
she could care less, y'all. She absolutely could care less. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll feed her in the morning and I'll crack her door like this because she can open the door.
Right.
The goats and Mildred can't, and Jesse. And if you leave
they
everything
got that
open,
Peaches vibe.
No, they're not. They just ain't quite as smart as Peaches.
Right. We ain't gonna tell them that though.
So when everything's open, we don't want them coming in there trying to eat Peaches' food.
Well, Peaches needs peace.
She needs
while
peace.
She's eating.
But there's so when Peaches gets done, she takes her nose, she slides that door back, and out she goes and goes about and does her thing.
Because she's not going to go to the bathroom in her stall.
No, that is spotless.
Yes, it is spotless, literally. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know what she'd do if one of the cats were to mess in her stall.
Oh, she'd be upset. Quick.
She would let them know about it because she opens that door and goes outside and does her business, and then.
But there's some days she don't open that door.
I don't know how she holds it. So,
I mean, I've gone in there and she hadn't opened up that door, and it's like
she went back to bed.
And so, I mean, she doesn't interact with anybody. Period. But we did get Peaches Marshall.
Right.
Hated Marshall.
She
couldn't stand poor Marshall. He tried his best too.
And he was a sweet little man.
He was a sweet little man. He'd build Peaches a bed, y'all, and everything. And Peaches would take advantage of it because she'd so lay in his bed.
She would sleep under the carport most of the time, but when it was going to be really cold, Marshall would get up on the hillside and he would build her a bed like what she has in her stall.
Yeah, very similar.
Out of leaves. And he would lay down beside that bed. And Peaches would come up that hill and get in that bed and go to sleep. But only if it was really cold.
Poor Marshall did all that work. And old Peaches didn't even give him a time of day.
No, she did not like him. She would fuss at him. She would let him know
that
I really just don't like you. I think if we tried 50 different pigs, she wouldn't like any of the 50. Honestly. She's more likely to be attached to a donkey or a goat or something different than her.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Or a cat.
Well, I put Loretta in there, and I honestly thought that they may get along because there were two females. Right. I thought maybe Marshall being the male, even though he was fixed,
right.
but no.
Nope. She
no.
She said,
my gracious, y'all.
I don't know what you are, but you don't have any manners. You smack when you eat, and you snore when you sleep.
Them two right there, they'd have some. They had some tussles.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna work.
That's two big egos right there, Loretta and Peaches.
And I never really would have thought that we would have had to have separated them. I thought from the get-go that all was going to be well.
That's right.
But no.
I wonder if anything, Gus could go in there with her.
I just don't think so because she didn't like Marshall, and
Marshall was sweet though.
He was as laid back as Gus.
Yep, Marshall was just as sweet as he could be. Now, I saw somebody ask what happened to Marshall is that Marshall went to big old farm that we were friends with, and they had other potbelly pigs there.
Yeah, they had other potbelly pigs, and the reason we relocated Marshall is because Peaches hated him.
I'm talking about y'all. It was
He could not
bad.
live. We had 7 acres, and Marshall had free range to those 7 acres, and he stayed right there on the farm. But Peaches disliked him so much that she would go to the edge of the property to get away from him.
She couldn't stand Marshall.
It just wasn't going to work.
And then Marshall got in the habit of knocking over the feed barrels.
Yes. If the feed barrels got less than half full and the lid wasn't on it all the way, he would get his big self stuck in the feed barrel.
In the feed barrel.
And all you'd see is his rear end sticking out.
And the feed barrel wobbling.
And most of the time he couldn't get out until we helped him.
Oh, goodness.
And he couldn't eat all the feed because he's stuck.
Oh, goodness.
So I can't tell you how many times I came home from picking Mary Carl up from school and had to get Marshall out of a barrel. Because if it hit the ground hard enough and there was enough feed, it was going to knock the top off. So we tried everything to try to make those lids stay on.
We tried.
But Peaches, she threw herself a party when Marshall left the premises.
Yeah.
She didn't want to hear anything about how he was doing, and we didn't tell her. We just told her he's gone, baby girl. He's gone. You don't have to worry about him anymore.
Poor Marshall.
Poor Marshall.
But he ended up going to a beautiful, huge farm.
Well,
it's a video, but that video will be 5 years ago now. I bet.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. But Marshall ended up happy and got along with the other pigs. There wasn't a pig there that acted like Peaches.
That's right.
I think Peaches may be a little different. Don't you?
I think so too. She's just rotten.
So, have any of you guys ever been to St. Augustine, Florida? It's a place that I was told is beautiful, and it's the oldest city in the United States. So,
is that right?
Yeah,
that is right.
So I kind of didn't know what to expect, but I was told I was going birding. So I didn't know where we should stay. I know there's a beach area and there's also a historic area. So we stayed on the historic side just because it was dark. I did not, y'all don't tell Jason this, but I didn't have reservations before I left. He doesn't believe in doing that, but I do. So
my anxiety start going up.
Yeah. So he wasn't with me, so we just winged it and, made it work. But are y'all ready for this? We never went and saw the downtown area. It's little shops and, lots of old oak trees, which we did get to see on some of the streets, but it was a lot of people. It was very populated, and it's February.
Yeah.
So, I know snowbirds, what they call them, people that go down south for the winter, but this was tourists. This was not necessarily people that were there for winter time.
It's a big attraction.
I tell y'all, I could have counted a tag from all 50 states in one parking lot.
Wow.
I'm not over exaggerating. It was busy, booming busy. So while I did accidentally drive down one of those overcrowded streets to try to get to a location that MapQuest told me to go, we spent our time on bayous and birding and looking for birds. And she was able to photograph a roseate spoonbill. Saw some wood storks. Saw oyster catcher. A lot of this means nothing to you guys because a year ago it meant nothing to me. I'm trying to think of some of the more spectacular things that we saw, but it was fun. It was a fun trip. Even if I'd been by myself, or if it had been Jason and myself, we would have went to the historic area. Mm-hmm. But she didn't want to do that, and I didn't make her.
Well, I thought, if we had went as a family, then we could have done the haunted tours.
Yeah, it's the most haunted city in the United States.
Yeah, and I thought Mary Carl would like that. And
she doesn't get scared by things like that. So, no, we didn't do anything like that. But we did go out onto the county pier that's in St. Augustine Beach, and we were told there were whales there a week ago.
Really?
Which is a very uncommon situation. The guy that works at the in the pier shop is what it was. It was, the bait shop or whatever. Everybody that saw Mary Carl had to comment on, girl, that lens is bigger than you are. Just trying to make conversation.
Yeah.
And she would make conversation back with them. But this particular gentleman shared with her that there were whales there last week. And he said, you got people that are whalers, like you got people that are birders.
Really?
And they go around to different beaches where whales are and, photograph them, whatnot.
Did he say what kind of whales they were?
Yeah, but I don't remember. A guy on the pier that I talked to one night told me that they didn't have a dorsal fin, the type of whale it was.
I don't know.
So I'm not going to go there about what kind it was, but he said that they had a group of whalers that have been trying to see whales for 50 years in St. Augustine, and said that the whales stayed there for like 2.5 hours. So that gave him enough time to call these people up, and they called their friends who were also in that group of whalers, and they got to come down and see them and photograph them, and it made for a happy bunch of people.
Wow. That would have been cool to see.
It would have.
Yeah.
But Mary Carl whispered to me, Mama, I wouldn't have really cared about seeing the whales. And I said, but I would.
Oh, I tell you, the funny story Mary Carl told me about the pier was that there was a fisherman there that had fallen asleep.
Yep.
And the birds were stealing his bait because he was gone.
She's not telling a story either.
And they were coming getting his shrimp and everything.
When he woke up from that nap, I wouldn't have wanted to be sitting beside him. He was going to have an empty bucket of bait. But his reel, it was most people that were fishing, they weren't holding their reels. They had, the holders.
Yeah.
And so that's what he had done. He had put his bait out in the water, and I guess
fell asleep.
If it had started whining, he would have woke up.
Oh, I see a lot of people saying they're called right whales.
Right whales.
Yeah.
RIGHT?
Yeah.
Right whale.
Right whales.
Yeah, they said they didn't have a dorsal fin, and I don't know. I don't know much about whales, but I know a lot about birds now.
Oh, I'm still laughing at the guy falling asleep
on a trash bag at that.
He
laid on a trash bag, and he wasn't a homeless person. He was fishing.
Yeah.
I guess he got tired. He needed to take a rest.
You ain't see no beers or nothing around
No, no alcohol permitted on the pier.
Oh, goodness.
I was going to show y'all. There were 3 pelicans that lived on the pier. And the guy that ran the pier shop, he was like, did you see the pelicans? And we were like, yeah, we saw all 3 of them. And he said, well, most of the time it's only 2. So if the 3rd one was with them, he knew the sex of them. He knew everything because they live on the pier. I told Mary Carl, I said, take my picture with Mr. Pelican, because he was not at all scared of me nor fishermen, because he thought that they were going to, give him some fish. So here's my selfie with Mr. Pelican. Did you ever see it?
I didn't see that.
I told Mary Carl, I said, reckon what would happen if
y'all look like y'all caught each other and wore the same outfit.
We do, don't we? We had to de-string a pigeon's foot. There always are pigeons, that are flying around piers wherever they think they can get feed. So there's a flock of pigeons, and of course Mary Carl took pigeon food because she says, that they need one chance in their life to eat quality food. Mm-hmm. They don't need to eat potato chips and stuff like that. This was going to be their day to get a good diet.
Got you.
So she's feeding them. And the reason she brought the quality food is because she wanted to help any of them that needed help. So there was one out of the bunch. And this is strange because usually when we go somewhere, there's multiple.
Yeah.
There was one out of this bunch of probably 50 pigeons that had a string wrapped around his foot. And it can be from anything. I mean, just think of feed bags and all the strings that come off of those.
And all those fishermen around there too.
Yeah.
It's fishing
So,
country.
She's feeding him. He's getting closer, and she catches him. I'm just sitting there like, we came 7.5 hours to see pigeons, but I'm glad she wanted to help him. So she reaches in her bag that she brought with her and pulls out a pair of tweezers and a pair of scissors.
She's prepared.
And I said, Mick Carl, I said, you mean to tell me you forgot your camera when we're headed out the driveway, but you had scissors and tweezers in your bag to de-string pigeons? And she let's see if I can show it. She got the string off the foot, and here's its release.
It froze.
No, it's in slow motion.
Oh, it's in slow motion.
She wanted me to put it in slow motion, but here he is getting released without a string on his foot.
Oh goodness.
And she felt good about it. I mean, she would have went home that day and not had a frown on her face because she had helped that pigeon.
Yep.
Y'all, I tell you, I'm amazed.
Something else.
I'm just amazed.
Something else.
But she was telling me to don't get too close to that pelican.
Yeah,
I said,
mouth's
why?
like this big.
I mean, it looked like a net on the bottom.
Yeah.
Where that part.
Right.
Is, and I'm, Mick, you reckon I could touch it? And she said, Mama, don't you get too close to that thing. So while she loves them, she respects them. She said, he could probably take your arm off.
He probably could. They got a big old mouth now.
I know our buddy Sue Slaughter down in Orlando has told us a story about her and a pigeon one time.
Pigeon or pelican?
Pelican.
Yeah.
I'm talking about pelicans now. And she said, you ask Sue before you try to. Of course, I didn't want to bother it anyway. I just wanted to see what she'd say. Sue, there she is.
She said you have to hold the mouth real tight.
I bet you do, Miss Sue. I mean, we think peacocks are strong.
Yeah.
Imagine what a pelican could do.
Peacocks are strong. Turkeys are strong.
I wasn't gonna mess with the pelican. I just wanted to see what she would say. So we drove the Subaru, of course.
Yeah.
The little trailer that we pulled was small enough to pull behind the car, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know this about St. Augustine. You can drive on the beach.
Yeah, which is here, we always go to the Panhandle, which is Panama City or Gulf Shores or
anywhere in that
Destin
area.
Or anywhere. You cannot drive on a beach.
No.
Period.
No, the condos and the hotels are so close to the water that there's like nowhere that you could drive. You'd be running over people.
You run over a lot of people.
So it says at the entrance of the alley, first we parked in a hotel parking lot that said tow away zone. And I was okay with parking there. Mick Carl's telling me, Mama, what if they tow our car? I'm like, baby, there's 75 parking spots here. We're not going to be here but 30 minutes. We're going to park here.
Yeah.
So we park there and we walk a couple blocks to go down to where people are driving on the beach. I said, Mick Carl, we could have drove down here instead of walking these 2 blocks. And I said, you want me to go back and us get the car? No, we're not going back and getting the car. We're walking. So we walk and we walk and we walk. And then I decided that my trip was not going to be complete unless I drove on the beach. And it says 4x4 required. Well, my car's all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So I should be okay, right?
Right.
So in front of me is a 4-wheel drive truck, like Jason's truck. And he's going along just fine. And I'm on the sand for the first time. And y'all, I can feel it like this. Mm-hmm. And I told Mick Carl, I said, I'm getting off at the next exit.
Well, is it people going like this or just one way?
Just one way.
Okay.
Just one way. But it kind of scared me because I had never experienced any mud or anything in my car. So I didn't know if everybody was sliding like that or if it was just me.
I don't know.
But I was so scared that somebody was going to pull me out.
Yeah, that's kind of bad.
But after that day, the next day, we saw another area that was a public beach that you could drive on. And this time I drove on it and I put my muscles up and I said, I got this. and I didn't feel that pull like I felt the first time. I think I wasn't scared.
Oh, you went in different pack sand or nothing?
It may have been, but I didn't feel as swervy as I did that first time. I'm telling you, I thought I was going to sink. Me and Carl wanted me to stop.
Yeah.
Because people just pulled over while they're driving. Well, where they pulled over, the sand was not as tightly packed. It was kind of loose, and you could visibly see that.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mama, pull over right here and let's go walk down to the beach, because she was looking for piping plovers, which is a small bird. And I said, baby, I just don't feel comfortable pulling over right here. And she's like, okay. She understood, but that second time we stopped.
And you didn't get stuck?
No, I didn't get stuck.
I'm glad you didn't get stuck.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not get stuck. But I'm going to tell y'all, I was a little worried.
No, I'm glad you didn't get stuck.
I thought, what is Jason going to say if I call him and tell him I'm stuck on the beach?
Call a wrecker.
Call the wrecker.
You call a wrecker.
Probably that same one that was going to tow me out of that parking lot.
Yeah.
Parked there without permission.
Right.
Breaking the law. The law. We weren't there 30 minutes. I mean, still, wrong is wrong, right?
That's right.
And it started raining. We were parked that far away from the beach, and it started raining. So Mary Carl takes her jacket off and wraps it around her camera. Good thing, I guess.
Yeah, that is a good thing. I wanted to remind everybody that on April 20th, we will be at Pedals from the Past for a meet and greet.
That's right.
So you want to come see us, you can. Or you can just come hang out with a bunch of folks. A bunch of us are going to be there. Or just hang out at Pedals.
That's the Antiques in the Garden, right?
Antiques in the Garden.
So Miss Laura was Simply Making It's going to be there.
That's right.
I don't even begin to know the YouTube channels that are going to be there.
We know Just Dig It Farm, Tracy and Jean.
Yeah.
And then Head Family Farm will be there. And Chestnut Hills will be there.
And G&G.
G&G, Big Family Small Farm. I know we're forgetting people, so don't be mad at us.
Don't be mad at us, but there's a long A&W. A&W Mini Farm. There's a long list.
Sneed Farmhouse.
That's right. See, our mind works sometimes. But you're welcome to come hang out, shop, play, take plants home, whatever you want to do.
And too, if you're in that area, our coffee and our honey is now in their gift shop.
That's right. And it's the same price as you would pay as if you bought it on the website.
You just wouldn't have to pay the shipping.
Have to pay the shipping.
So if you're local, and you can go over there and get it.
That's right. Yep. So,
a matter of fact, I had somebody reach out to me and say, ask Ryan, does he have any pumpkin spice coffee left? And I said, Ryan doesn't. But I know a place when I went in there last time for the Rose class, they had one bag left.
Oh, I bet they were happy.
And I said, they will ship it to you.
That's right.
And I said, but you got to call them. I gave them the phone number. And she sent me an email back and she said they were so nice. And they did indeed ship me the pumpkin spice coffee.
How about that?
So,
well, that's the last one. So you might not should have said that.
That was the last one.
No more pumpkin spice.
Until, pumpkin spice season rolls around.
I had somebody recently tell me that they are a very picky coffee drinker and that they have ordered lots and lots of coffee to try to find something that suits their fancy. And most everything was a higher price than ours. And this person can only drink Coghill coffee now because it's so good and it meets all the requirements. It's organic. And it doesn't leave that bitter aftertaste. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When I got home, I don't even know what day I came home. Sunday. I was already wanting my coffee because I did not take my freeze-dried coffee with me.
Oh, goodness.
And I was ready for that cup of coffee come Monday morning. So where can you order it? I'm going to let you do it.
Where can you order it?
I'm going to let you do it.
No, you're the W.
I'm the W. www.coghillfarm.com.
Oh, goodness.
And that's for anything. Honey, shirts, whatever.
Also, I'm trying to think. I had somebody ask me on one of the videos, what did I think was a best egg layer for beginners? And Rhode Island Reds is always what I always say. But I wrote an article, wrote a blog about that. and I sent them a link to the blog, and they were happy about that. So I got several things there, and I got it there for you guys to, if you need to know something, it's over there. I got my organic pest control
Where's
system
that? On the website?
on the website.
Oh.
And I got top 5 egg layers for beginners. I got how to start seeds in seed trays. So I got little things, and I'm gonna keep adding to that too, so I can reference that to you guys. Or if you can't remember, you can always go back to the website and look.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So April 20th.
April 20th. It'll be here before you know it.
It will be.
And I must say that I was working on the bus a little bit before I came to this live.
Mm-hmm.
We got the seats back. I think Jason showed them to you in the video.
I did.
And the gentleman told me to tell my friends about his shop. So if any of y'all are nearby and want any upholstery done,
Mm-hmm.
send me an email. I'll be glad to give you his phone number or whatever. He's just a little country store that's out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he did a good job for us. And while I'm working on the bus, I had the driver's door open. I did not open the big slide door because the front seat and the passenger seat are being stored right there, so the cats won't mess them up. So the driver's side door's open. I got finished with that side. I went around to the passenger side, start working on it, and I look in the back. In one of the seats, curled up, is Sylvester asleep. And he had been in there since I started working on the bus, and I never saw him.
Oh, gosh.
But he wasn't telling on himself. He was curled up, and I'm talking about he was like this. And Bramble was just in my face the whole time. I was trying to glue down cover that goes on the seat stand.
Yeah.
And I was like, buddy, you're going to get glue on you. And so I'm trying to keep Bramble out, and Sylvester's asleep the whole time.
They don't care.
Asleep the whole time. I had no idea.
That's funny. Did you get him out?
Oh, I did. I did. And as soon as I picked him up at the end of my job to put him out, Bramble jumps in the front seat.
Oh, gosh.
It wasn't a front seat, but he jumps in the front door. So I had to get two. I hope Biscuit wasn't in there. I never saw her. She'll have been in the back asleep.
I don't think so. We gotta go feed anyway, so we'll check them and see.
We'll make sure.
I will say this: the seats were amazing. It just somebody that can do a trade and do it well. I know it's just awesome to me. I mean, the cording and to me, especially that trade, upholstery, that's something that just people don't do anymore.
No, they don't. We were so fortunate to have found somebody.
Man, were we?
And y'all. He showed it to me. And after he told me, it made me realize just how talented he was, because it's plaid, right? So he made all the plaid match up the correct way. Mm-hmm. And it took 2 yards of fabric. That's it. To do 2 seats, front and back.
It is unreal.
And he showed me what he had left, and it was literally the edges. You could not have made an armrest out of what he had left.
That's unreal. It is. And like I said, it is hard to find anybody, or at least in our area. It may not be somewhere else, but in our area, upholstery is just hard.
We used to have a gentleman back in our hometown
to find people.
And he was
the only one.
He was good, but he has since passed away. And I thought to myself, I'll never find anybody as good as Mr. Brown was. Yeah. But this guy's just that good. And he told me that he could also make a cushion cover, which I've got one piece of foam that I need a cushion made for, and I've already got the fabric. Mm-hmm. So he said, get with me and I'll get that cushion cover made for you. So, and he does boat seats. I'm sure he does furniture too. He does. Yeah. I told y'all that I went by one day and Mary Cross said, Mama, the bus seat's in the window. And I thought it had already been done. And we went back by and I found out that it had not been done yet. Y'all, he did those seats in like a half a day. That's crazy. I don't know how he did it. I don't either. I don't know how he did it. And he made the cording and the vinyl cording match the vinyl. I don't know how he did it. I have upholstered some things before and not been very happy with my outcome. And you pull the staples out and redo it 5,000 times. That might be a... Okay. Well, what are y'all having for dinner? we're having leftovers. I made
Mexican pie.
I don't know what it's called.
That's what I call
It's
it.
something that my mama used to make long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I've made it since. It doesn't have any meat in it, but you could put meat in it if you wanted to. I just have never done it. But it's a pie crust on the bottom, and it is onions, bell peppers, couple of jars of salsa, as
Mm-hmm.
much as you want actually,
Mm-hmm.
a can of black beans, and then you cook that in your skillet until it's soft, until the onions and peppers are cooked thoroughly, and layer it with a tortilla shell in between and cheese on top until you get to the top, and then you put a pie crust on the top, and it is good.
It's like a Mexican pot pie.
Kind of, yes, it's very good.
That's what it reminds me of.
It's very easy. It's
Yeah.
and we have leftovers. It's good leftover too.
It is good leftover.
But y'all guess what?
What?
Mary Carl didn't like it.
She ate some of it, and I can't believe she even ate that much because she's,
Well,
picky.
when I fixed it for her, she said, "I'm not eating that pie crust." And I thought, the pie crust is the best part of the whole thing.
It is.
If you don't have the pie crust,
It
then
is.
you're missing out. So her daddy tells her, "Mary Carl, it's just like a fajita. It's just like you're eating a fajita." And she says, "Okay, I'll eat it." And I'm like, she already told me she wasn't going to eat it when I fixed it, but her daddy can, he got the suave.
Got the magic touch.
Yeah, the daddy touch.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go put animals up and reheat our leftovers, and we
Edit tomorrow's video.
edit tomorrow's video.
And it's about the donkeys.
It's about the donkeys. And
there might be some emus in it.
Might be. I am not going to Florida this weekend. So we'll be here Saturday.
Oh,
That's right.
That's right.
Be here Saturday.
Yeah, that's why we didn't have the live Saturday. I was going to pedals for the Rose class, and
why is it not working?
It doesn't. I don't know.
All right.
It doesn't matter. It's not working tonight.
It's not.
They turned it off.
They turned it off.
Well, guys, we hope y'all have a beautiful rest of the evening. Video about the animals, the new animal hunting, will be out tomorrow. And
I'll have a video out on Thursday.
That's right. You have a video out on Thursday.
That's right.
And
things will be back to normal.
Yeah.
Y'all stay tuned.
Y'all be good. My stomach's growling now.